Hello, Beez Bladers! Welcome back, and welcome newcomers to the channel. This is what it looks like when it comes new. You slide this off. I hope you're having a fantastic day today. I have something very exciting from REMETTE knives, baby. Listen, if you've been living under a rock or been in the shadows, or you've just discovered modern folding pocket knives, then maybe you haven't heard of REMETTE, but we got a new something going on right here, and I'm going to share it with all you guys and gals. By the way, this knife and all the other knives, they come in really nice pouches. They come in knife pouches. How about that? Let's see if I can get my words correct today. Now, this is an upgraded model of one that people went crazy over because it has a pivot lock. This is the REMETTE RT Falcon. Would you look at it? Just look at it and all of its falconness. Now, there are like six different variants. I'll show you what the other variants look like here in just a second. Now, what they've done with the REMETTE Falcon, by the way, you want to see this blade? Pow! Right in the kisser. Oh my gosh. And yes, it does look like a Falcon. Absolutely looks like a Peregrine Falcon. I mean, to a T. It looks like a dive bombing Peregrine Falcon. This one has the, oh yeah, look at that, lightning anodized titanium. I guess you'd call that an overlay since it's not inlay, right? And this is, oh yeah, look at that. It's a pivot lock, but this one has, oh yeah, it has a backup lock, a safety lock. So I know that I know some people got this, and some people do the spine whack test as if you're going to buy this particular knife to go out and I don't know, would you bushcraft with this knife? I wouldn't. I mean, I don't have the kind of money to buy a knife like this and then go out bushcrafting, but I think that's what people do is they go out and do the spine whack test to test, you know, how it's going to do jabbing it into stuff and things like that. So that REMETTE has answered the call of the knife community, and that's what they do. REMETTE is one of the most involved knife companies. As soon as someone says something or they bring something up or they want an improvement or like something different, REMETTE's like, got you covered. We're going to do it right meow. And that's what they did. So they put this extra safety on. I'll show you a little bit more about that here in just a second. But let me show you. I don't know. I told you there's 6 different variants. This is some examples, and they've added two more variants to the brand new one with the safety lock. This is just an example. You have the bronze with the bronze, with the darker bronze and the bronze. These are all titanium handles, and this one right here, oh yeah. That's one of my favorite. Oh my goodness, I just think of a shark swimming in the sea when I see this. Oh my gosh, that titanium looks so good. And the REMETTE RT Peregrine Falcon has M390 blade steel. Overall, it's 7.8 inches long, 198 millimeters. Closed, it's 4.4 inches, 122 millimeters. Your blade is 3.2 inches long, 83 millimeters. And this guy comes in around the 4.7, 4.8 ounce mark. And let me show you a couple more knives just to give you a really good idea in case you didn't see my other review of the REMETTE Falcon or the RT Falcon. Here's the CJRB Pyrite and the Civivi Elementum 2 button lock. And of course, you know, here it comes, baby, the QSP Penguin, because everybody needs a penguin, right? So it's a little bit bigger, a little bit beefier. And you know what? Since we're talking about a more premium style knife, let's get the Spyderco Para 3. And these are 2 knives that like everyone knows about, right? The Spyderco Paramilitary 2. So lengthwise for your blade, you have about that going on. It's very similar to the Paramilitary 2. And by the way, this blade, you know, this is Beez Blades after all. Look at that blade. I mean, would you just look at it and all of its wickedness? I love the geometric designs, and this thumb hole is very usable, which I'll show you the action and the ergos here in just a second. Now, let's see how it feels. Left and right, up and down. I'm getting no blade play, no movement, which is very good. It does have a little bit of jimping up here, and when it's closed, look at this. You can do a little bit of front flipping action, and the front flipping on this, oh, and by the way, it's absolutely buttery smooth. And I really do appreciate that we have multiple deployments. You have the thumb hole, you have a front flipper, and you have the pivot. Now, before I show you the action and the ergos, let me show you some of these other ones. You have the tiger stripe, you have the lightning ano, you have the bronze, you have the LeBronze. You have the classic, oh, we'll get some basketball comments for that one. Well, you have the classic titanium, and then, I mean, there's like 2 or 3 different versions of each one, but they're all changed just a little bit, and I really do like this one here that has the overlays, but hopefully you've seen a few pictures across your screen now. Now, let's check out a little bit of the action. The reverse flick, Look at that. Oh, it's money. And then the drop is very drop shutty. That was slow. There we go. It's a little bit better. Now, can we do it with our thumb? That's the question. If you put your thumb and you commit it in there a little bit, you can do a nice flick with your thumb, and you can see how easy it is to use. It's so easy to depress. Now this feels really nice. Now I'm not gonna do a spine whack test because I don't really have something to spine whack it on right now, but trying to see if I feel any movement, giving it the old jerky jerk. I don't feel any kind of movement or play like that. So I know that they have done some work, but what they've done is they've added this safety lock. So let's see, if I use my, okay, I can use my index finger to put that safety lock on, and now the way it works is you cannot use the primary opening method when that safety lock is over, which I appreciate that way more than the kind where you could still use this method and then it's a secondary lock. This isn't a secondary lock. It is a lock, primary lock blocker. It's a lock blocker. Don't be a lock blocker. But yeah, so with this engaged, I'm not able to press the button. So I can't even accidentally depress that button with that engaged. So that's going to be a plus. I'm sure there'll be a couple channels out there that do a spine whack test and go out and try to break down and cut down trees with it. But let's see, how does this work? So just disengaging it, then I'm able to use it normally. Oh, very nice. So, and I will say this, that this is, it is very, I mean, it is very sturdy. When you're open, then I can click it. Now, here's something to keep in mind. When this is closed, you cannot engage this. I just figured that out. I was like trying to engage it. I was like, what am I missing here? Quickly figured out that this has to be opened before you can engage that lock. So that might tell you about the inside mechanism. Now this right here, oh, look at this. Okay, here's something else. That liner, I cannot disengage the liner. It is also locked. So that right there is a major, major cool thing. That's showing us that can't even disengage because this secondary lock. And now, yeah, look at that. And that is very easy to disengage. There's a perfect amount of pass through into that liner lock, and that makes it so you have the front flipper, you have the thumb hole, you have the button, and then to disengage it, you can use it whatever fits your fancy. You can use the button to disengage it, or you can do like you're used to with all your liner locks and all your frame locks and disengage it like that. And that is how I prefer. That's what I'm used to. And man, oh man, it is very smooth. So the fit, the finish, the ergos, by the way, I have large width hands. The ergos are very comfortable on this bad boy. I don't have any complaints about that. This is, I mean, this is just a coolness. It has the total coolness factor. And this one has kind of the stone wash going on, which I really like. So I'm not going to be worried about scratching it up. And it does have a, what about half length titanium back spacer. You have a place for a lanyard hole. And you do have room for sharpening. It's very clear as to where your plunge grind stops right there. Now, as far as disengaging this, with my finger, I was just able to disengage it with my finger without turning the knife any particular way. So I think that's something you're going to quickly get used to, is using that secondary lock, which I like how solid it feels. I like that I don't feel anything going on. And then disengaging is going to take a little bit of practice. But yeah, I think that's pretty darn cool. We're going to talk about this on Friday night. Beez Blades, live at the Hive. Oh, right. You don't want to miss it. We're going to talk about this one. We're going to see what your favorite versions are. We might just give a Peregrine Falcon away. You know how we do. Remette stops by the live streams all the time. And, oh, they gave me a discount code. I have 10% off the new Remette Falcon. I don't know that you can get the old version anymore, but they have all of the new versions, and I have, it's either 10 or 15% off. Whatever the code is, I'll have it down in the description and in the comments, in the pinned comment. Let me know what you think about this new feature on the Remette RT-PEREGRINE Falcon. And now go watch this video. You'll really enjoy that. And until I see you again in the lives or the chats or the Hive stream, remember, live life in the present, keep a Band-Aid handy, and don't cut yourself.